Chapter 8, Being of Service to Others, Finding Meaning in Life. We work on ourselves in order to help others, but we also help others to work on ourselves. Pema Chodron. Why we are of service to others. This is one of the pillars of the karma recovery practice, being of service to others. By being of service to others, we can do all of the following and much more. Improving our karma. Engaging in acts of kindness and service aligns with the universal principle of karma, where positive actions lead to positive outcomes. It creates a cycle of goodwill that can resonate in other areas of life. Practice selflessness. Serving others shifts focus from self-centered desires and needs, fostering empathy and understanding for others. It provides an opportunity to transcend personal issues by focusing on the needs of others. Heal emotional wounds. Through helping others, we can find healing from our own pain and heartache. It can be a therapeutic experience that provides perspective and promotes emotional growth. Enhance social connections. Being of service creates opportunities to connect with others on a deeper level. It strengthens bonds with family and friends and builds community ties. Foster a sense of purpose. Helping others gives life meaning and purpose. It instills a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that can be a vital part of recovery. Boost self-esteem and self-image. Regular acts of service can have a profound impact on how one views oneself. It builds confidence and self-respect, shaping a more positive self-image. Relieve guilt and shame. By contributing positively to the lives of others, we find relief from lingering feelings of guilt or shame associated with past actions. It's a step towards redemption and self-acceptance. Cultivate compassion. Engaging in acts of kindness encourages a compassionate outlook. It teaches patience, understanding, and love, qualities that enrich both the giver and the receiver. In the context of addiction recovery, being of service is not just an act of goodwill, it is a transformative practice that aids healing, promotes growth, and reinforces positive values. It aligns with the holistic approach to recovery, addressing not just the physical and mental aspects but also the spiritual and emotional dimensions of the individual. It's a pathway towards rebuilding a life filled with integrity, empathy, and fulfillment. Seeing the opportunities to help others. There is a story of a man who was told by his mentor to go out the next day and find someone to help. The man said, "Okay, but I don't really come across that many people who need help." The mentor said, "Okay, just look for them." The next day the man talked to his mentor and reported an amazing thing. He said very simply, "I was looking for people to help and they were everywhere." The moral of the story is that when you are not thinking about helping others you miss the opportunity. However, when you are looking for opportunities, they present themselves everywhere. This story is a powerful illustration of the mindset shift that occurs when one actively seeks opportunities to be of service to others. It emphasizes that the act of helping is not limited to grand gestures or significant commitments, rather, it is in the small, everyday opportunities that one can make a difference in another person's life and by doing so make a difference in their own. This perspective aligns with many teachings and philosophies that focus on mindfulness, intention, and presence in everyday living. By focusing on the desire to help and putting oneself in a position to notice and act on opportunities, one can create a ripple effect of kindness and compassion. For those of us in recovery, or anyone seeking personal growth for that matter, this proactive approach to service is transformative. It requires a conscious effort to move beyond self-centered thinking and actively engage with the world around us in a meaningful way. It's not just about providing assistance but about cultivating a mindset of empathy and openness that enriches both the giver and the receiver. This simple yet profound tale embodies a universal truth: we find what we seek. If we seek opportunities to be of service, we will find them. If we seek connection, empathy, and love, those too will manifest in our lives. It's a reminder that the attitudes and intentions we carry with us shape our experiences and our interactions with the world around us. It's an invitation to live more consciously, more compassionately, and more fully engaged with the people and communities we are a part of. How to be of service. There really is no limit to the number of different ways we can be of service to others. The key is to help people with no expectation of a return. There are certainly many benefits to being of service, and many things we receive like gratitude, happiness, a sense of purpose in life and meaningful relationships. However, we expect nothing. We should look for opportunities to be of service to others that are meaningful to us. Being of service should not feel like a chore. Look for opportunities to be of service to others in ways that were things you have an interest in or passion for. An example of this would be the person that cares about the environment. They can look for opportunities to volunteer for environmental organizations. Another example would be a person who wants to be a bigger part of their child's life. They could volunteer their time at a school in a variety of diverse ways. One of the easiest and most rewarding things to do is to give people you know a call and ask them how life is going or if there is anything with which they are struggling. You will be able to offer them advice and relate to what they are going through. In Activity 8 we will be discussing a straightforward way that you will be able to be of service to others every day, which is sending positive communications. With this activity you can pay someone a compliment. Things to focus on when helping others. No expectation of return. True altruism involves giving without expecting anything in return. It's an act of kindness that comes from a place of empathy and compassion rather than a desire for personal gain or recognition. This principle is deeply rooted in many spiritual traditions and ethical philosophies. Find your passion. Engaging in service that aligns with your interests and values makes the act of giving more meaningful and enjoyable. It allows you to contribute your unique skills and passions to causes that matter to you. This principle is consistent with the idea of ikigai, a Japanese concept that means a reason for being and emphasizes finding joy and purpose in daily living through alignment with personal values and passions. Simple acts of kindness. Being of service does not always require grand gestures or significant commitments. Sometimes, the most profound acts of kindness are found in the simple, everyday interactions we have with others. Whether it is a supportive phone call, a genuine compliment, or a helping hand to a neighbor, these small acts can have a significant impact. Research has shown that these small acts of kindness can increase happiness and well-being for both the giver and receiver. Builds community and relationships. Service fosters a sense of community and connection. It breaks down barriers and builds bridges between individuals and groups. By working together toward a common goal or simply showing kindness and understanding, we strengthen our relationships and build more compassionate and resilient communities. Being of service does not always require grand gestures or significant commitments. Sometimes, the most profound acts of kindness are found in the simple, everyday interactions we have with others. Whether it is a supportive phone call, a genuine compliment, or a helping hand to a neighbor, these small acts can have a significant impact. Research has shown that these small acts of kindness can increase happiness and well-being for both the giver and receiver. Being of service to others is not just about doing good deeds, it is a way of living that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. It's a practice that cultivates empathy, compassion, and connection, and it is a path to personal growth and fulfillment. Whether in recovery or simply seeking to live a more mindful and compassionate life, embracing the principles and practices of service can be a transformative and deeply rewarding journey. Advising and listening to others. One of the best things we can do to be of service to others is to listen to what they are struggling with in life. This is one of the easiest ways to be of service because all it takes is a phone call and a question or two. How are things going? Is there anything you are struggling with? This is one of the most rewarding for us as well. It takes us out of ourselves, allows us to practice the Eightfold Path, and enables us to practice both compassion and gratitude. When listening to the problems of others, it is important to offer advice. We recommend that you use I or we statements and refrain from saying you. For example, instead of saying you need to do this in that situation, try to say, in that situation here is what I did, or in that situation here is what I would do. Another example would be, instead of saying you should do this in this situation, try saying, in this situation my experience has been that the best thing to do is this. When people feel as though they are getting advice instead of orders, they are much more receptive and appreciative. The service you are doing is much more effective and valued. When listening to others, you will want to relate to them and offer them solace for what they are going through. This is an important part of listening to people and sharing in their pain, for lack of a better term. In the chapter on karma, we discussed one of the 4 heart principles. Compassion, the ability to share and empathize with the pain of others. When practicing compassion, there are 3 primary ways to do it and are called upon depending on the situation that is struggled with. Here are the 3 primary ways to practice compassion that you might refer to, aligning with principles of empathy and compassion within various therapeutic and philosophical traditions. Empathetic listening, simply being present and listening without interrupting or immediately jumping to solutions, can be a powerful form of support. People often just need someone to listen and validate their feelings without judgment. This approach aligns with the principles of person-centered therapy developed by Carl Rogers, where empathy plays a significant role. Sharing personal insights and experience. Sharing personal insights using I or we statements can be very effective. It helps others to feel understood and less alone in their struggles. This approach is about connecting through shared human experience, and it can build trust and rapport. Mindful compassion. Practicing mindfulness and intentionally focusing on compassion for the person's situation can create a deeper emotional connection. It's not just about understanding our pain but genuinely feeling for them and wishing them well. This approach aligns with principles found in mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and other mindfulness-based therapies. It's worth mentioning that not everyone will want or be ready for advice, so it is crucial to gauge the person's readiness and ask if they would like some insights or simply need someone to listen. The practice of compassionate listening and being of service in this way does not just benefit the person you are helping, it will also enrich your life by strengthening your empathy skills, enhancing your relationships, and fulfilling a sense of purpose. It's a beautiful illustration of the interconnectedness of the human experience and the potential we all have to uplift each other through simple, heartfelt connections. Compare those feelings to the feeling, stress, and turmoil felt in active addiction. It may spread beyond you. The concept of paying it forward is both uplifting and empowering. The idea that one good deed can lead to a cascade of other positive actions can inspire us to participate in acts of kindness, knowing that our single act might trigger a larger movement. The pay it forward philosophy is based on the understanding that we are all interconnected and the actions we take can have a far-reaching impact. Here is why this idea is powerful. Amplification of positive actions. When you help someone and they are inspired to help someone else, the original act of kindness is amplified and spread across multiple people, potentially reaching a point where the initial action has led to hundreds or even thousands of kind acts. Creating a culture of kindness. Regularly participating in altruistic service can create a cultural shift within communities, organizations, or even entire societies, where kindness becomes a norm rather than an exception. Inspiring others. Simply witnessing an act of kindness can inspire others to act similarly. This phenomenon is sometimes referred to as moral elevation, where observing good deeds can lead to a sense of warmth and an increased desire to help others. Personal growth and satisfaction. Knowing that your actions may inspire others to act kindly provides a profound sense of satisfaction and may further motivate you to continue to engage in altruistic acts. Addressing larger social issues. By inspiring others to participate in acts of kindness and community service, pay it forward initiatives can contribute to addressing larger social problems, creating a collective force for positive change. The pay it forward concept emphasizes not just the immediate effect of a good deed but the potential ripple effect it may have on the wider community. It's an inspiring reminder that small acts of kindness can have a significant impact, fostering a sense of responsibility, empathy, and community spirit. Ideas for being of service. Studies show that you will experience the most improvement to your overall well-being by varying the activities you do to be of service to others. Here is a short list of ideas. Give a homeless person $1. Feed the hungry. Teach a class online or in person for free about an expertise you have. Volunteer time at a homeless shelter. Volunteer time at a nonprofit. Volunteer in your community or local school. Donate money to charity. Drive someone to a meeting. Take someone where they need to go. Call someone and ask them how their day is going. Offer advice to someone who is struggling. Buy someone's coffee in the drive-thru behind you. Buy someone lunch or dinner. Mow your neighbor's lawn. Invite someone over and make them dinner. Help someone achieve a goal. Author an article or blog post that helps people. Share your mistakes with others. Ask someone to tell you about themselves. Donate blood. Donate money to a charity with a cause you care about. Become a virtual mentor for someone through a site like iCouldBe.org. Volunteer in a service position at meetings like making coffee. Volunteer your service or expertise for free to someone. Help organize a charity event. Give someone a compliment. Pick up garbage. Be a mentor to someone. Gift someone a book. Gift someone this book. Be encouraging to others. Tell someone you are proud of them. Give away books you have already read. Help someone with something they need help with. Introduce someone new to meetings to people you know. Talk to someone new at meetings to make them feel more comfortable. Practice the 4 heart principles with everyone you meet. Practice the Eightfold Path with everyone you meet. Start a blog that is helpful to others. Inspire others with your recovery. Ask someone about their passions. Send a positive text or email. Get involved with an environmental organization. Watch someone's children. Volunteer for a crisis hotline. Being of service is a gift. It's one of the best things we can do with our time. For those of us that struggle with addiction, it is one of, if not the best weapons we have against our addiction. When all else fails, being of service can keep us in recovery. Being of service will give us a purpose. It's a huge part of our spirituality. Our search for meaning in life. Indeed, the act of being of service to others can be a profound path to recovery and personal growth, particularly for those grappling with addiction. Here is why this approach resonates so deeply. Shift in focus. Addiction often stems from a focus on personal needs, desires, or pains. By helping others, the focus shifts away from the self and towards the well-being of others, alleviating some of the emotional burdens that can fuel addiction. Creating connections. Being of service builds connections with other people. Addiction can be an isolating experience, and building relationships through acts of kindness can help fill the void that addiction once occupied. Building self-esteem. Successfully helping others can provide a sense of accomplishment and self-worth. For those struggling with addiction, this can be a powerful boost to self-esteem, which is often eroded by addictive behaviors. Spiritual growth. Many find a spiritual connection in the act of serving others. This connection can provide a sense of purpose and meaning, aligning with deeper values that counter the short-term gratifications of addiction. A positive cycle. Acts of service often result in positive feedback and gratitude from others. This positive reinforcement can help sustain the motivation to continue with recovery efforts. Therapeutic effects. Engaging in altruistic acts has been shown to have therapeutic benefits. It can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, all factors that may contribute to addiction. Holistic approach. Being of service complements other recovery strategies, such as therapy, support groups, and personal reflection. It offers a holistic approach that addresses not just the physical aspect of addiction but also the emotional, social, and spiritual facets. Being of service is more than a mere activity. It is a philosophy and a way of life that can have profound effects on personal recovery and transformation. It offers a path towards healing that is grounded in empathy, compassion, connection, and positive action. For many, it becomes a lifelong commitment that sustains recovery and enriches life in ways that are deeply fulfilling. True happiness consists in making others happy. Hindu proverb.